Hello everyone, this is Maki. Today we are going to have a casual chat about the GUNDAM SEED series. Mu Flavor is one of the most popular characters. He fought alongside the protagonist Kira Yamato as a reliable senior. He calls himself the man who makes the impossible possible. So how often did he make the impossible possible? This discussion is full of my personal interpretations. I think there's only one case where Mu made the impossible possible. Let's examine this by combining not only the TV anime but also expressions from the novel version. Mu overcame many extremely dangerous situations. In battles before the events depicted in the TV anime, he defeated 5 scenes with the Mobius Zero and survived the Earth Alliance's Cyclops self-destruct. In the final battle of the CTV anime, he used the Strike Gundam to defend the Archangel against the Dominion's positron cannon. In C Destiny, he piloted the Akatsuki and defended against the Manava's positron cannon. He also survived the battle against the Black Knight Squad in Seed Freedom, despite being at a significant power disadvantage. He also used the Akatsuki as a shield against the Requiem, a massive beam cannon with enough power to destroy an entire city, saving the people aboard. Each of these moments could certainly be described as doing the impossible. However, I believe that his act of defending himself against the positron cannon with the Strike Gundam and surviving is the only true example of making the impossible possible. In the CTV anime, a floating helmet was shown in space. However, in the remastered version, the helmet was removed and replaced with the head of the Strike Gundam. Some fans criticized this change as a logical inconsistency. It's understandable, as changing such an important scene for the sake of production convenience is not something most would welcome. To be honest, when I first saw it, I thought this might not be the best choice of direction. However, by reinterpreting the scene, I found a way to accept it as something not unnatural. A crucial aspect of this interpretation is the version of the novel Seed and the themes of Seed Freedom. The novel was written by Ms. Liu Goto, who also worked on the screenplay for Seed Freedom. It seems that Ms. Goto struggled with her portrayal of Mu in the novel. Writing the novel at the same time as the TV anime led to inconsistencies with the sequel C Destiny, which she expressed regret about. Let's take a look at her statements on X regarding the novel. C's depiction of Mu is one where he is completely dead, isn't it? What exactly does the novel say about Mu's fate? Here's the description of the moment when the Strike Gundam defended itself against the positron cannon. It was not hot. As the stream of positrons incinerated every single cell in his body, Mu felt the embrace of the woman he loved, her arms open to hold him. In his final moments, Mu reflects, "While a cruiser is a pitiful man, he knows nothing of what can be given by someone you love, or what you can give to those you love." Eventually, his thoughts turn to Kira. The novel describes how Mu, through the unique abilities of the Flavor family, envisions Kira's victory and foresees all that will follow with complete clarity. The description of Mu, experiencing the feeling of every single cell being burned away, is the basis for Ms. Goto's claim that Mu is clearly dead. But Mu did not die. You could blame this on the intentions of the director, the screenwriters, or even the corporate decisions of Sunrise, but this explanation doesn't feel very pleasant. Interestingly, there's a sentence in the very novel that Ms. Goto wrote that contradicts her own struggles. Mu is described as foreseeing the events that would occur later through the abilities of the Flavor family. This can be interpreted as him foreseeing Kira's victory over Kuruze. But is it possible that he foresaw more than that? On this point, Goto's own writing provides a clue. Mu imagines Marurami softening her arms to embrace him. This could be seen as a representation of Mu's desires or memories. However, the exact same scene is depicted at the end of Seed Freedom. Could Mu have foreseen the distant future by using the Frege family's abilities at that moment? That is my interpretation. So how should we interpret the helmet floating in space? If we consider it to be one of the future visions that Mu perceived while being burned by the intense heat, then this interpretation is logically consistent. Of course, as I've mentioned several times, this is just my personal interpretation, and I don't deny that it might be a somewhat strained explanation. Could it be that while Mu's body was being burned, he had a vision of a possible future? This is what might happen if things go on like this. This vision manifested as the helmet floating in space. Now, considering that he foresaw the image of Maru embracing him in the distant future, and yet also envisioned a future in which he dies might seem contradictory at first. However, the idea that the future is not singular is a concept expressed in Seed Destiny through the rejection of the destiny plan. Mu probably perceived multiple possible futures and consciously chose the outcome of surviving by his own will. This element of presenting a pilot with multiple possible futures is reminiscent of the Zero system in Gundam Wing. Until then, Mu's abilities were limited to sensing the near future or detecting Kuruze's presence. However, in the scene where he defended himself against the positron cannon with the Strike Gundam, he demonstrated the ability to foresee a more distant future. The act of surpassing what his past self could achieve and overcoming a situation where he would otherwise have died is a moment that truly deserves to be called making the impossible possible. How exactly did he survive the positron cannon attack? This is open to debate. One could speculate that the safety shutter that protected Kira from the Aegis Gundam's short-range self-destructs played a crucial role. Fans often humorously remark, if such a highly defensive safety shutter can be made, why not make the entire mobile suit out of the same material and the enduring mystery of this device? The detailed mechanics of the shutter remain unclear. Why can it only be used in an emergency? My personal interpretation is that the mobile suit may be designed to channel all of its energy into the phase shift armor around the cockpit during emergencies. If we interpret it as an armor system that works for a short time with an immense concentration of energy, it would reconcile the ideas of emergency use only and exceptionally high defense power. Zaft's massive Genesis weapon also uses phase shift armor powered by massive amounts of energy, allowing it to neutralize positron cannon attacks. Again, this is just my personal interpretation. Mu maximized the abilities of the Frege family beyond their limits to foresee a distant future. I interpret this as the true moment he made the impossible possible. Defeating 5 scenes with the Mobius Zero, escaping the self-destructs of the Cyclops Super Wing, surviving the battle with the Black Knight Squad, and defending against the Massive Beam Cannon Requiem with the Akatsuki, and reflecting it to counterattack these, I believe were not instances of making the impossible possible. Rather, they were the results of Mu's own skills and abilities. By focusing on the element of foreseeing a distant future, don't you think Mu's situation is somewhat similar to that of Anakin Skywalker in the Star Wars series? Anakin grew up with the expectation that he would be the one to bring balance to the Force. The Jedi Knights hoped that Anakin, as a warrior of the light side, would bring peace to the galaxy. This prediction, however, was incomplete. From the perspective of the entire galaxy, there was no moral distinction between the light and dark sides of the Force. Anakin, as Darth Vader, destroyed the overgrown Jedi Order and ultimately defeated the powerful Darth Sidious, bringing balance to the Force throughout the galaxy. The outcome the Jedi foresaw, bringing balance to the Force, was actually a distant future event. In this light, doesn't the image of Mu undergoing surgery seem really similar to Anakin's? What kind of future does Mu Lawflavor have? Many fans seem to be hoping for the adventures of a child born to Mu and Maru. What do you think their child would be called? Luke? Or perhaps Ben? Maybe even Rey? Thanks for watching to the end. See you next time.